Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You'll never guess what we found. We're going to meet a new friend and we're going to talk about a whole bunch of cool stuff. The history of this coach, where it's living, where it's going, and what you're going to see in the summer. All right guys, I'm here with Dave Millhauser from the Bus Museum, and so if you don't mind just explaining what the museum is, what this coach is, a bit of history on it, and just kind of tell everyone at home what's going on this year.
Well, the Bus Museum was founded by a group of guys about 20 years ago who were committed to preserving the history of the industry. The major player was a guy named Dick McGuire, who owned Capital Trailways and had 6 antique buses he had restored himself, which became the basis of our current collection, which is now about 55 buses.
Wow.
We can only show about 8 at a time on the exhibit floor, but at Spring Fling, the whole place is open to everybody. We hope we have hundreds of people and they get to see all the buses.
And what is the Spring Fling?
Spring Fling is a celebration of bus history, really. People come from all over the country, literally. And we have everything out on display. We clean the place up. We have sometimes as many as 50 visiting buses on top of our fleet of 55. So you can see about 100 antique buses if you're into that, ranging from 1908. We have a 1908 white Singer, all the way up to fairly modern stuff.
That's incredible. Everyone on my channel knows that I'm preserving and I show my 1982 MC9. Do I have to be a member of the club or museum for me to come to Spring Fling?
We like you to pre-register. That's free. For the bus.
Right.
We get a little bit out of you. I forget what it is. About $15.
Okay.
But if you're a member, it's free. If you're not a member, it's about $15. The bus is free. We hope you'll pre-register so we can plan our parking. But in fact, if you show up that day, we're not going to turn you away. We're happy to see you.
Awesome. Hey, Barry. You're fine. So what's behind us right now, Dave?
This is a Prevo H560 that belongs to one of our members and volunteers named Jimmy Hall. He runs Venture Tours out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. He has 2 of these.
No way.
This does not belong to the museum. This is Jimmy's. He's still running them on charters. This is a 1991 bus. It's articulated. This one seats 72 people.
Wow.
Prevo, as I understand it, the Canadian government subsidized the design of this bus. Prevo built it. They sold about 60 of them. It's kind of a niche bus.
It really is,
but it's really neat. And then they took what they learned in designing this, and that's where the H series that they are still building is derived from. It's derived from that engineering.
Do you mind taking us on a walk around it?
Not at all.
Awesome. Is there anything spectacular about the front end that's not a typical H3?
No, except that it looks just like the H series later on. One of the things they did that was clever, and everybody stopped doing later, that's a rear bumper from a transit bus, essentially. They painted it, turned it upside down, put it on the front, and it's great. It's an energy-absorbing bumper. It doesn't look bad at all. Everybody's got the contoured ones now, but I still like that for the practicality of it.
That's really cool. And so then as we come around, it has 2 axles on the front. They both steer?
They both steer.
And does this bus kneel with 2 steer axles?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that'd be a little too complex, but I'm not sure. I don't think so.
So it holds 70 passengers.
This one's 72.
72. It's articulated.
It is definitely articulated.
How long is it?
60 feet.
That's the H560. So 5 axles, 60 feet. H345, 3 axles, 45 feet.
Exactly.
Got it.
Exactly.
What's this door that's open?
The door is the power, I would call it the power tray. And
wow.
I was a competitor at the time, so everything I'm telling you is what I think I know. But that's an 8V92 in there, which was the state-of-the-art engine at the time.
Correct.
It's probably 400 horsepower, somewhere in that range, which back then was a lot. It's not a lot now. And it's not terribly easy to get at, but they seem to work pretty well.
So back in the day, obviously there were a lot different regulations, hours of service wasn't such a big deal.
Well, no, it was, but yeah.
Well, there's always
we cheated.
Exactly. How would a driver pre-trip? Would you be opening this? Would you be going straight in like this, or is it?
They would have to. Because you got to check the oil.
Of course.
And the coolant is elsewhere.
So it's not like some cab overs where there's like a little sneak door or a cheat door?
No, they have to do that. Because there's your dipstick right there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're assuming they all did what they were supposed to.
Yeah. Hey, Ron.
On a practical sense, you're probably way ahead of me.
So it's an AV92. What's it paired to?
It's an Allison 740. I'm virtually certain. I'd have to look.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the articulated part, was there anything major that would, be super cost prohibitive in the life cycle cost of ownership, or is it just more novel?
I don't think the turntable itself is. I think that was a fairly established technology.
Okay.
I don't know whether they purchased it. I probably purchased it from somebody. The idea of an articulated, it's kind of intimidating for drivers at first. Although I've driven one, and it's very fun to drive. Ron will tell you, backing up is a little tricky, but.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but once you're on the highway, it does lock in line, correct? Does that apply when you're reversing, or does it have to articulate?
It has to articulate.
Right, okay.
But Ron will tell you, if you get past a certain number of degrees backing, it locks up because they don't want you damaging the stuff. Because this axle back here steers too.
People call jackknifing a trailer or something like that.
Yeah.
It won't let you do that to a certain extent. It'll get to a certain, like he said, degree, and those plates will lock in place. Okay. And you're sitting there until a mechanic comes in and gets you unlocked.
It's similar to a modern straight bus that has steerable tag axle in that those things, you don't want to put that bus in neutral and roll backwards because if it's at an angle, it'll break it.
Everyone on YouTube would have followed through COVID. I bought a Peterbilt and I went trucking and I had 4-axle end dump trailers. The first axle was a steerable axle. So I learned the hard way a few times. You forget to lift that axle and you're backing your trailer up Nicholas cockeyed. You can easily spend a lot of money very quickly.
Yeah.
Now, when you're looking at a new coach, when you're looking at the market, you want to know all your costs, you want to know your service intervals. Was there other service intervals to take care of with an H560 because it articulates, it has that steerable tag? Are there extra parts that you have to factor into, or are you kind of just, it's a cool bus and it just kind of runs in the fleet
just
like
more
an H3?
stuff.
It's just more parts.
Okay.
Just in case.
So it's not like an aircraft where at a certain service interval you have to dismantle this or something, or?
You take it apart. There's some things that you're just best to leave alone and let you have it.
I kind of feel like that with my MC9. There are a few things that I might have to do, but we're just gonna kind of wait for the day that we have to, so that's cool. And then, is every single bay luggage, or?
Most of them are.
Okay.
Not all of them. Well, you've got that, and you've got your air conditioner and all that. But it does pretty good on luggage, does it not? Per passenger.
Yeah.
I don't know what the cubic foot.
The last bay there is not totally luggage.
Okay. Is it unlocked? Do you mind if we open it, or?
You should be able to.
One of the things that you look for in a luggage compartment is cubic footage matters.
Right.
But if you have the same amount of cubic footage and you have a choice, you'd rather have long and low than short and high because of stacking.
Correct.
Prevo's got wonderful luggage space, but in this case, it's high.
Well, even to this day at my other carriers that I've driven with and helped out, there's always that debate between, the J's and the H's and what's better on a ski trip, what's better on sightseeing.
Sure.
That's awesome.
And what they call a web frame inside.
Correct,
Your nine's got bulkheads, but if you got a web frame, if you're taking the track team, they can get the poles for the pole hauling
Exactly, yeah.
Or the skis.
Well, I actually just overheard a conversation here at the UMA Expo of a dispatcher accidentally sending a Von Hool, and they couldn't get those long poles for track and field through, and they actually requested a different manufacturer.
We just cut them in half.
Yeah, exactly. Now, correct me if I'm wrong again, but the H345 doesn't taper in, right? This is specific to this?
I believe so.
Okay.
They've got a, I believe so. I'm not sure about that.
Okay, so there are some differences. Do you know why this tapers in?
I do not know.
Because I'm thinking for myself as an operator, with a bus this long, I want to know right where that corner is.
Exactly.
And it comes in from my mirrors right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
This makes you nervous.
It really
where
makes you
everything
nervous.
is.
Now, Ron, while you're here, I see the plate. He's correct in saying that you guys still run this out on service?
We can, yes. It's been a while since it's been on a charter trip.
But it's plated and insured, ready to go. See, my MC9 is historically plated and historically run, not for hire.
Yeah.
This is set up to go right now.
This is incredible.
But essentially, you mothballed it for the COVID thing, and now...
Of course, yeah.
Parked at COVID and we've since then.
It's really weird seeing a back door on a bus, I'm just saying.
Yes.
Of course, in Europe, they all have two doors.
Correct. For a little while there, I was working with Beat the Street, and I was driving the entertainer coaches with the double-decker with the midship door and the front door, and it was weird having two door switches.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we go on, or? Awesome.
There is a safety rail there in the step hill. so that if somebody is in here,
Okay.
in the main part of the coach,
Yeah. Pause the video after this. One of the biggest supporters of my channel and my endeavors with my MCI MC9 is Capital City Apparel Co. Check out their website. You can buy some of my own merch direct from their website. They'll ship direct to your door. And if you don't want any of my stuff, you can commission them for your own fundraisers, projects, uniforms, anything at all. They have an amazing product with amazing software and endless capabilities. I've put this through the dryer dozens of times. There's no cracking, there's no fading, there's no peeling. Everything looks as fresh as the day it was done, and I cannot thank them enough for a top shelf product. So please head on over to their website, give them some love, please help support the project. And like I say, if you need anything from them at all, check out the website, get them on social media, shoot them a direct message. They will move mountains with a teaspoon for you. And they are one of my biggest supporters, and I can't thank them enough for believing in me and helping me get my channels out there so we can keep this bus going down the road and in movies and appreciated. So thanks again. There's a safety rail that if someone's in here, what happens? Oh, you can block off the whole staircase.
yeah. So if somebody's coming trying to use the restroom,
Come out of the bathroom, you don't fall down the
they won't
stairs.
fall down the stairs.
Hated when that happens.
That's incredible. Is there anyone up the aisle right now, or?
No, there's no
Okay, we'll come up on the rear door.
You want me to go first? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
Oh no,
go for it. Yeah,
I'm doing what it's your thing.
Awesome.
Dark
Walk
in
the
here.
plank. So, it's a little dark, but that's all right. We got some lighting in the front.
Yeah.
This upholstery is incredible. I'm gonna.
This is
they've
redone
redone?
the
Okay.
upholstery. I mean, it wears out.
Let's
one
get to the
one thing that's
articulated
interesting about this bus, and if Ron was up front, he could tell you, but Jimmy Hall put in these auxiliary air conditioners.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, and what they are is back then you were right on the margins of what an air conditioner could carry with all this glass and all.
Right.
He installed this aftermarket, and even Prevo says that's a good idea.
And so
Even the MC9, for example,
Correct.
that air conditioner was marginal compared to what we've got today. It was the best you could do at the time.
my air conditioning's not working. So
Well, that's good. You're safe then.
yeah, I'm gonna be putting something in there at some point because those summer days get beastly.
If you can get stuff from an MC12, which is sort of like an MC9, their air conditioner was updated because of the
way.
the limitations of the 9.
Okay.
That I competed with them.
So
and
like
they
an
wa-
MC12, would it be like bolt-on items, or do I have to modify a lot?
No, well, it's an entirely different condenser.
Condenser.
It's a double pass condenser.
Okay.
That's why if you look at an MC12, you don't have to get this online if you don't want. But if you look at a bus from the side, it looks like an MC9. You can tell it's a 12 if it's got a longer condenser.
Really?
Because it's a bigger condenser.
Interesting.
Because they did the best they could in 1979.
Of course.
Things improved.
So when it comes to the H560 on the interior, it's pretty much the H3. Correct? It's basically, same luggage rack, same AV.
To the best of my knowledge, yeah. Of course, that has evolved since to different ones.
Of course, yeah.
Probably the same as what they were building.
Yeah, I
at the
remember
time.
in 98, 99, we got the new dash, we got
Yeah.
the new overheads, and that ran a very long life cycle. This is absolutely incredible.
And it's in wonderful shape.
Yeah, it really
I mean,
is.
They really take care of it.
This is now, Ron, do you ever get bookings for this specifically because it's unique?
There probably were a few. I'm not knowledgeable about that because
Right.
I don't work in in dispatch or in the sales end of it.
Right.
I work in the shop, so I can't tell you for sure that has happened. I'm sure it has. But,
Right.
They call and say, "Hey, I've got 70 people. I got a bus for you."
Now, working in the shop, what do you find is the hardest part about keeping this in the fleet?
Parts.
Right.
Since Prevost doesn't manufacture the bus anymore, they don't have a lot of parts. You have to go outside and find people that have them, that have mothballed them, and that type of thing. People that can or will drive them because of the articulated part.
Down in the States, I know how our licenses work where I'm from. In your state where this is operated, is there any extra endorsement or different class because it's articulated? Okay. Well, I love the coach. It's freaking amazing. I've always wanted to see one up close. I can't thank you enough. So this bus will be at the Spring Fling?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It has been in the past.
Because I know that Prevo's bringing the 1924 REO Rio, and I'm going to try to make it with the MC9.
I'm confident that Prevo will try to get these guys to bring it, and you know, we hope so. They brought it once before, and it was an absolute hit. Yeah,
That's
everybody
amazing.
loved it. Yeah.
Well, Dave, I really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you very much. Enjoyed it.
I'm definitely going to become a member of the museum, and I'll do my best to get my coach down there. And
I'll lend you the money if you can't afford it. It's, I think, $15.
I'm thinking fuel.
Oh, okay.
But honestly, thank you so much, guys. This bus is beautiful, and I'm really glad it's here. So, please like, follow, subscribe, share, go to Instagram, buy some merch, and just stay tuned for more cool bus stuff.